think I only took like 10 pictures on this trip I just got back from, and I'm so proud of myself. And that may sound so dumb, but I just went to see my best friend, my soulmate, Liz. And I've already made a video about all that. But what I just realized was like, I hardly took any photos. Now, the reason why this is a big deal to me is because I've had a really twisted relationship with lots of things in my life, right? And so I'm kind of was like, first I had a terrible relationship with my home, right? I didn't ever have a safe home environment to sleep in. Like I constantly put myself in danger to, recreate my childhood, parts of it. So I slept on the floor. I didn't like let myself be comfortable, feel safe. Like I've talked about that in another video. So my relationship to my home has been an epic journey that took me decades to get to a place where it's like in a healthy place. I mean, look how cute my room is. Like this is my office or whatever. And I can make more videos on that because I could write, actually, I can and actually will write a whole book on that topic alone. But the next level was my like relationships with friends and dating, right? First it was friends and then date, right? So I had to work, that was like the next video game level. And now my healing is around work and my creativity, which is now my work. Now I'm like an under earner. Like I feel bad making money. It makes me like I always undervalue my work. I always have that. I have like an deprivation mindset that, and a lot of that I believe is directly tied with just like trauma stuff, right? Like you don't want to feel comfortable, right? So like, just been exploited by lots and lots of bosses and like did way too much work and was like, I'll do it, right? The martyr, right? And actually that person is not helpful to anybody because the more you martyr yourself, the more you screw over all your coworkers because then the boss expects everyone to do that. And just so that you look good. Anyway, I can do so many videos on that. And so this is like a very hard level of this video game. And I do not have all the tools to make it to the next level of whatever the next challenge is. But I will say this, and like the whole money piece is a whole nother thing. But since I've been doing storytelling and comedy, like I started off kind of doing travel comedy. If I don't even know if that's a thing, but that's what I was doing. I don't like travel. I'm not like, look at this nice, I don't do that. Like I was like, live in my truck. Look at this stuff like that I see while living, you know what I mean? Couch surfing, woofing, Worldwide Organic Organization of Organic Farms. Like it's when you just work on farms all over or whatever. It's basically like, you're just a different kind of travel, but I always have been a comedian for a while, right? And so I've had a really unhealthy relationship with travel once I started doing it as part of my creativity because I love being creative. It gives me so much joy. It gives me a sense of purpose. I don't know, like I love it and gotten pretty good at it or whatever. It's also, a lot of my healing has come from my creativity. So I love my creativity, but now that it's my job, I don't have such a healthy relationship with, I am this close to burning out. I got a really hard lesson a couple weeks ago that where there's a will, there is not a way. Like if my body is like, I can't be working this many hours for the amount of pay that I get. So I'm working on stuff like that. That's what this video is about. But like, I've had so many jobs where like doctors are like, you have to quit this job. You have to quit this job. Or my body just gave out. Like when I worked, the reason why I had to quit Outward Bound is because my hips gave out. They're like, Merch, you're not doing this anymore. Stop. I was like, okay, fine. I mean, I had so much, my hips like wouldn't work. I could not carry a backpack anymore. And every time I'm pushing it too hard with something because I'm a masochist, but I know why. I'm not just like I understand. Like now everything kind of makes sense and I'm not like, don't judge myself for how I've been in the past. It all makes sense. I understand why I was doing a lot of things that I was doing. I had a really hard lesson just in the last few months that what I'm doing at this rate in order to pay my bills is not sustainable. I'm going to burn out. And that's one level of it. But the one that I really want to talk about in this video is the codependency involved in that. Because I have this sense, like, that should voice, right? It comes out in so many ways. And a lot of times I have this pressure that I put on myself to do things, but because I think they want me to do it, right? And I've been doing this even since before I actually ever got, did all of this stuff. I did comedy and storytelling, stuff like that for at least 13 years. No, at least 12 years without making any money. All my energy, all my spare time went into doing comedy and storytelling and all that, but I never got paid for it because that's the reality in the United States. That's just how we do not value art in the United States. Never got paid ever. I think I got $20 for a show finally in the storytelling. Anyway, whatever. And so even though I wasn't getting paid to do all this and share content and entertain people, I still felt like I should do more. I should do more. I should post more. I owe people this, blah, blah, blah. And so now that I actually, when I just became a writer, every time I went anywhere, I was like, okay, this might be a story. Everything, I never get a day off because everything that I talk about, not everything, because now I talk more about film and TV and all that stuff. Thank God I don't just talk about my own life. But when your art form is about talking about your life, then you exploit the crap out of yourself. Right? Everything could be for them and it's not for me. Do you know what I mean? And so I started to develop really unhealthy boundaries around my work because it's very personal to me, but I like to share it. And I feel like people want it and I got to give the people what they want. You know what I mean? But at what cost, right? At what cost? It requires so much energy and thought and brain power and emotional, especially if I'm talking about something from my past that's pretty traumatizing. Sometimes it re-traumatizes me. It makes me have to process things again, have to think about them again, have to go look at photos again and whatever, right? I like to give. I love telling stories and I love to give my stories to whoever it is needs them. Some people are like, yeah, whatever, great, thanks, and whatever, But it comes back to that thing that women are taught, and then especially if you come from, a family where there's interest or childhood essay or addiction or something where children are not really taught, or you were parentified. A lot of these things are all tied together. Then you're always thinking about everyone else instead of asking you know what I mean? Which can actually be very selfish, and that's a whole nother video because by centering other people, I oftentimes end up being unbelievably inconsiderate and selfish. Another video. And so I've done this with everything. What do they want? I've done this with in the past unhealthy relationships. And it actually still shows up in my marriage sometimes. It's very rare now. But in the beginning, I kept being where is this voice coming to where I should do this? Or he's probably thinking this. And all of these, I'm what is this voice? Because that doesn't seem like something Anthony would say. And he's never said it. Why am I convinced that? So I do this with people who like my work too. I'm but they really, but here's the thing. The comments regularly, not always, because some people just want me to create for nothing and don't just, dance, Melanie, dance, right? But I will say that most of the people who really value my work, which is I think most of the people who follow me, they want me to take care of myself. I'm supposed to be role modeling that, right? I'm supposed to be showing what it's like, how I'm learning to have healthy boundaries with myself and about what I should and should or whatever, but what is best for my overall health to do and what's not, right? And yet I project this monster onto other people no, they want me to do it. That's not y'all. That is coming from a voice in here that is not y'all, right? And so again, I was wait a second. This weekend, I want to spend with my best friend. I don't want to take photos and videos, and I'm not going to. Because here's what I have noticed is that it's really robbing me and my husband of moments together, because I'm always thinking about what do they want. And by they, the boss, which is my people who watch my stuff, right? Like, that's why I'm saying, like, I have projected all of my issues around the boss or like the person who has power over. I'm doing that. I do that all the time. And so I was like, wait a second, I'm pretty sure. And people literally tell me this in my comments. Oh my God, I hope you have so much fun with your friend. Enjoy, relax, like take time. And I'm just like, no, they want me to. So what I'm saying is that I'm starting to recognize that this voice is not, again, some people may be like, come on, Melanie, more. But most people who appreciate me and my content and who want me to actually not burn out, want me to take care of myself, right? And I want that for myself because I don't want to role model somebody being codependent with their platform and their people who like their, like what, you know what I mean? Like that is like me literally role modeling the opposite of what I want to be and do. Now, a little caveat here is because of the way these platforms operate, and especially in TikTok, which don't even get me started. I have been having to work on days when I'm sick. I can't take vacation. So I'm like, that's why I've been like, okay, I got to figure out a new way to do this so that my stuff is accessible, but it doesn't drain me to the point where I'm going to burn out and quit this thing I love doing. And so, but part of that is also to remove that voice of should. Work, Melanie, work. Never rest, never relax. Like this violent little dictator inside of me, which my old mentor used to call Sam. She'd be like, there's Sam again. God, Sam is such an asshole. Sam never lets you rest. Sam is so hard. She like literally gave a voice to this thing because she was like, you are so hard on yourself. This is like this 75-year-old woman in Brooklyn, you know? And she was like a surrogate grandma to me or whatever. And she called me on my stuff and she was like, you are projecting it on me? And you project it on there's a baby crying down there. You would literally project Sam voice on it, being like, that baby thinks that you're terrible, like whatever. So I started realizing, oh my God, I don't know where this voice came from. Don't care at this point. Just need to stop taking it so seriously and even have empathy for wherever this is coming from. And just, and if like internal family systems, IFS therapy has really helped me to like not believe all the voices in my head, like just being kind of trying to like recognize like, okay, I know like you think, but we're not going to do that. You know what I mean? Like gentle parenting myself. I feel so silly even saying this. That the other voice, it's like, nah, man, like that naysayer that just makes fun of me for doing anything feminine or anything like nurturing. It's like, so many voices in my head, y'all. But what I'm getting at is that I was like, Liz is my only priority on this trip. I don't give a crap about Amsterdam. I'm literally only going to Amsterdam because that is where she is. She flew over the ocean. She's there to see her daughter, and I am going there to see her. And like, that's it. I don't care about anything else. I don't care. Like, if we have time to see pretty things, that's fine. I literally could stay in the hotel room all day. Like, and I kept that commitment, and I'm so proud of myself. I made a couple extra videos in case I wanted to release them. But then I was like, I don't want to babysit this. I want to be present with Liz. I don't want to be in the comments. I don't want to be making sure that I'm blocking, any inchmails or any like people who are just like bigots on my page or, whatever. I don't want to do all that work. And I also don't want to like not show up and respond to comments that, there's a lot of time that I put into making the videos. And a lot of that time is to at least giving some engagement and listening and learning and just trying to be there in the comments with all the people. But I also like can only do so much, right? And I don't want to release a video because I don't want to put it out there and then have to go to work, right? And I just have to take some time off or at least release it in a later moment when we're done hanging out so then I can do a little bit of work, like just putting boundaries around work. And it is so hard for me, y'all. It's so hard for me. And yet I did it. My mind's all over the place. But I've noticed that when I'm out with Anthony and we have like any date time, if we go somewhere cool, that have never been before, which is often, I'm always like, wow, like, I'm in France. So like everything is like, oh my God, that's amazing, and because everything's like old, you know what I mean? And whatever, like fancy and cute and all this crap. Not everything, but you know what I mean? And so I'm like, wow, look at the village, wow, look at that. I mean, this is why people make fun of us so much. They're like, God. Anyway, and instead of just taking it in and taking a couple pictures, I record everything because I'm like, I'm going to use the video. Do you know what? Do you have any idea how many videos, travel stories and travel videos? I have like probably 100 hours worth of travel stuff, but I don't have time to make it. So I was like, I don't need any more travel content. And I've been to Amsterdam before and had plenty of pictures. I don't need, like that voice, like, I don't know, Melanie, you should take it. And I was like, no. So like keeping that boundary with myself all weekend or whatever was like still kind of hard, but shockingly not as hard as I thought it would be. And because I went into that with that mindset, being fully committed to being Liz is my only priority. Like spending time with Anthony and her husband. Yeah, sure. But they all know, everyone knows this is so Melanie and Liz can spend time together because they're besties and they need this, right? So I didn't take hardly any photos. We went on we did nothing like I didn't ride bikes. I have a bike. I've ridden bikes around this city. I don't need to ride a bike. I'm not here to do bike. Melanie travels. No, I'm here to see Liz, We did go on a boat ride, just as something to do together. Took a few photos. Don't care. I could have literally been riding a boat through a landfill if there was water there. We could have literally been riding on a boat just through piles of garbage. And I would just been like, I wouldn't have even known. I didn't even I'm like, oh, that's pretty. Anyway, Liz, And I love that for me. And I love that for us. And I love that for her that I was able to be present. Because so many times I'm so checked out because I'm like, this little Sam is like, but you should do this and you should do that, whatever. So I didn't abandon myself, and what I really needed from this trip was to connect with my friends. I didn't abandon her and her feelings being wrapped up in my head and the should, right? And people who really appreciate my stuff, I am sure will be happy that I spent time with this person that they hear so much about and that they love hearing about our why y'all don't care about Amsterdam. I mean, some people might, but that's not why you're following me. I don't travel It's my stories and all of this stuff. There's plenty of travel influencers who will cover Amsterdam, and that's not me, right? And so just prioritizing my time and my energy. It's really hard. I'm actually working with an amazing coach, Lauren. I'm going to tag her. She is so amazing. Already. I've worked with her in the past, but we're doing a big thing now to really kind of help me manage my energy and my time. Because, she's just like, you're so hard on yourself and you don't even get to enjoy your life because it's just, right? Even in this level of healing, that voice is still there. And I just projected onto something new. So now it's around work, which is the thing I love, which is involved with the thing I love most, which is my creativity. I love my creativity. It is literally my favorite. I love storytelling and comedy and all this stuff. I love it. But if I don't put boundaries around this, I'm going to end up feeling abused by it when it's really coming from within me. And I'm going to end up hating the thing I love most. I've been doing this for 18 years now. Now is not the time for me to hate this thing that has brought me so much joy and healing and connection and all so much happiness. So I will share, I took this photo, okay? Lovely bike. Liz took this photo of me and Anthony on that boat. That was a beautiful boat, went beautiful places, but didn't care. Not there for the boat. I mean, appreciate the boat, appreciate this time, but I was just wanted to talk to Liz. Took another photo, but because I value my friend so much and her privacy, I will not show her face. I don't show anyone's face other than Anthony because he's public record. But unless I have explicit consent, I will never show my friends' faces anymore on any big platform because they didn't ask for this. And I'm trying to value my privacy too, their privacy and my own. And then we took this photo. I was like, Liz, I know you're a private person, but can I take one with you and me with just the back of your head? She was like, yes. Et voila, my heart is full.